Hi, this is Molly from Professor B. What do you get when you order Professor B Mathematics? In the Power Learning series, we have a textbook and a workbook that goes for each level. K through second is level 1, third grade through fifth grade is level 2, and sixth through eighth grade is level 3. The textbook is written for the teacher. Book 1 introduces numbers. Has an amazing way to introduce number sense and the meaning of numbers in their 1 through 10 program. Addition facts and subtraction facts are introduced, and many of the strategies that the children are using when learning addition and subtraction, and a very important emphasis on place value, are taught through the charts. The charts, which is part of the level 1 bundle, have this first quick chart, very powerful strategy I've used with all ages of kids to develop their spatial thinking, their short-term working memory, where the kids learn to tap 9, 1, 10, 8, 2, 10, 7, 3, 10, and so forth. And they learn the partners that make 10, the partners that make 9, until they've learned all of their lower addition facts. The lower subtraction facts are then taught next based on the chart. If they know their partners from their little quick chart, and we ask, what is the partner 2, 8 to make 10? They immediately can identify those because they've learned the quick chart so well. And again, then we move to the lower addition facts. Counting from 1 to 100 and doing count bys is taught on this chart in some snap doubling exercises. Snatch is where we learn our higher addition facts, and we use base 10 thinking strategies. So we're going to borrow 1 from this 9 to make him a 10, and we're going to add 10 and 8 and begin immediately learning how to regroup with 10s mentally instead of using rote memorization to learn these facts. And then we have it in the horizontal presentation. Again, we connect the two charts, and this really develops spatial thinking and spatial reasoning. We teach them the higher subtraction facts, again, using a base 10 strategy where we subtract the 2 from the 10, leaving 8, and add it back to the 1. And that is how we come up with the answer to these. Again, we're really working on that establishing place value base 10 thinking skills using these charts. Jump is another way to begin to think in double digits and count bys at higher numbers. A quick doubling chart, and then their times table. And again, these charts work with levels 1 and 2 and go through all of the basic addition, subtraction, multiplication facts. The workbooks come along with each of the levels as well, giving them adequate practice with minimal instructions. I love the size of the problems, and there's not too many on the page. It's very simple, black and white, straightforward, so it's not cluttered. It's not distracting, and it's just not overwhelming. And you'll find that there are there's less writing, fewer exercises per lesson than the average curriculum, because almost all the learning is really done orally through oral rehearsals and in interaction with the teacher. So these are only done after a certain level of mastery has been achieved using the interaction of the whiteboard and with the chart books. Our level 2 it begins with introducing the multiplication facts. It talks a lot about place value as well and introduces a very cool long division strategy. We introduce factors, prime factorization, and multiples, and they are taught how to find the least common multiple and the highest common factor using prime numbers, and then an introduction to adding and subtracting fractions. Again, the accompanying workbook for those exercises. And then level 3, let's look at those table of contents. Book 3 begins with multiplying and dividing fractions. It again discusses place value, and the metric system is introduced here. Adding, Subtracting, multiplying decimals is then covered. And then transforming fractions into percents and making sure they can move easily between those three. And talking a little bit about rounding up and rounding off. So this originally was written back in the 70s. Let me come back to my screen. And I believe the grade levels are probably a bit altered now. So what used to be taught in 6th through 8th grade is probably taught a couple of years younger. However, the way these are taught with the foundations give them such an amazing confidence and mastery that it's amazing that they can learn the other things so much easier because of this foundation. So every one of these levels is also going to come with an answer key. These original answer keys were not written by the authors. They were submitted by customers early on, and they do have some errors, and we're having them all. I've been working through the books, making sure there are no errors and getting them retyped and reprinted, but you'll be getting the answer key. And if you get the old one, I'll be giving you a little list with the errors we have found so you have everything you need there. So that is a summary of the Power Learning textbook series, and this is the one I recommend the most often. However, we do have an alternate format. You can also buy a PowerPoint little DVD for each of the 3 levels. And it's called the Instant Master Teacher. The Instant Master Teacher is another way that you can be introduced to the content. It's basically the same content. They have included a few other skills in there. Time and money is included. The chart books are actually on the screen, so you don't need the charts for level 1. And you will work through mostly the same skills. There's a little bit less content in this program, but you would sit as the teacher in front of the screen as you watch the PowerPoint presentation and read to your child who's also there what you're seeing on the screen. And again, it's kind of the things that the book tells you to put on the whiteboard and to talk through. It's just a different presentation method, but they're both really, really good. And finally, we have our algebra series. We have 3 volumes of Power Algebra. The algebra text is also scripted, and the workbook, the exercises are actually worked into the book itself. So there's not a separate workbook for the algebra. Right now we have softbound paperback for book 1. And I have some spiral book 2s, or you can get those digitally, and book 3 is only available in digital. So this gives you a little bit of a peek. You want to see that table of contents again here. We have, let's see if I can get all of it on the page. Here we go. Introducing integers, multiplying polynomials. This is book 1. It looks like that's all of the table of contents. If you'd like more information about tables of contents in books 2 and 3, please let me know. And I'm really looking forward to hearing from you guys and talking to you about your math needs. All right, Mollie Shaw, I'll talk to you later.